Is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, closet swing traders. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. Hope you had a good day of trading. Yesterday, I took one little scalp on AMD early morning and then called it quits. I am away technically this week, so I kind of kept getting the look of like stop looking at your phone type situation. So I was in and out. So we'll try to figure out where this market is together, as I didn't really pay too much attention yesterday, but it's okay. If I'm out of the game, we got a bunch of you guys in the game that will keep me up to date. We got Albert, we got Alex, we got Bill, Brian. Good morning to Gina, Greg, K, Hector, Hernandez in the house. We got Jay, we got Joe. Good morning to JT, Lauren, Lucian, Martina, Richard, Jet, Ron, Shane, Tanya, Wayne, Yovaris, the squadron in the house. It's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a good day. All right. So also I'm streaming from the hotel right now. So let me know if it like chops in or out. It seems like it's okay. It seems pretty steady. But for some reason, I think I'm live on YouTube, but I can't see the screen. So if any of you guys are in YouTube land, I apologize. I can't see it, but if anybody in the chat, if you guys have that YouTube link and could send it to me, this way I could try to pull up that link. For some reason, it said, I don't know, set to private. I don't know if it was, again, internet related or I just did something incorrectly. I'm not sure, but if you guys have that link, if you could throw it in the chat, fantastic. Otherwise, let's take it says it's Wednesday, baby. Let's go. Let's do it. So let's start with a SPY first and foremost to see where we're at. We did have a rather bullish day. It was a gap and go. It wasn't that crazy of a gap and go at open, at least. So we had a little bit of a gap up, still inside day. If we break it down, so this is the part of the day I was trading the morning part, and I was just waiting. I was like, I don't know, I think we go bullish. I think bullish is our direction, but it's just going to chop around because it is inside, right? So having a little patience at open, but this is the time of day I was trading, and then I think I caught that breakout, but not on SPY, on just on AMD. I could have definitely held it longer, but I was like half R in 2 minutes. I'm going to take it and hit the beach. So I was good, and then I was like, yeah, we look bullish. We look like we're about to break, and we did. So for the this is up until really when we got the break, that was 11:05. So the market was open about an hour and 35 minutes until that break came in. Lots of indecision, lots of chop in this area. And then if you took anything bullish, you were probably sitting pretty decent throughout the day. Hector says, I am live on YouTube. There it is. Oh, yeah. I mean, whether I knew it or not, I just knew Jeff was in the house. Good morning to Daniel. Good morning, Scott. We got Rado. Good morning to you. Lyra's in the house. Netflix, can you please show us your scalp strategy? I didn't scalp Netflix. I scalped AMD yesterday, but we could cover Netflix. We'll take a look. I'll at least give you what I think today. We got Bob on the list. Yep, Bob was doing good yesterday too. We got Paralysis to Purpose podcast. I don't know what that is, but that sounds like a cool podcast. I'm going to check that out for sure. But good morning to you as well. We got 5 likes now. Now we need more on YouTube land. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up, that like, subscribe button for sure. And, we'll cover some of those, and also throw your tickers in now that I can see you guys in YouTube land. Throw some tickers in also to the regular chat. Chuck is coming in too, man. This is good. This is not a vacation. It's a holiday. I'm telling you. All right. So we have a little bit of a gap down today. Not too surprising. It was a massive day. I think today's candle, I want to say, ends red, depending on how quickly we sell. I can see a nice red candle in here. I'm going to just imaginary draw it, red candle. And then I think in the next, we could have another day or two of rest potentially, but I think we get that break. And I think these levels up here still need to be retested. So I can see a little bit of a rest day, which means probably nothing too crazy. The only thing that could change that is if we come back down, we retest pretty early, probably into the, I think this zone has to be retested. So watch for some kind of a bounce I'll call it 434, but 433.96. Somewhere right around that zone, I think, is where we should get our little bit of support, especially after that breakout candle that we did have closing not only above yesterday's candle, but above or the day before's candle. But we actually closed above some VPOCs. We closed above 1, 2, 3, 4 VPOCs. So very, very strong day. A resting candle would make sense, something with not too much volatility. And I think we end red, but if this does come down and we start bouncing off that we'll call it 434 zone, then I think we have the ability to move a little bit higher. So, and then maybe potentially we're looking at something like this kind of candle. Resting inside, still a little bit more bullish wick at the bottom, and then we continue higher from there. But either way, I do think we still go higher. I don't think we're really done the bullish move yet. I think this is all in a longer picture. I think that was some kind of wave 4, and this is probably wave 5. So this is where I'm going to start to get a little bit more cautious, get a little less bullish, probably. But I do think we still go a little bit higher from here. So I'm at this point still rather bullish on the markets. Let's take a look at the Qs. 1, 2, 3. Kind of similar to yesterday. I think obviously the SPY was stronger. The fact that we closed above Monday's candle, where we were not able to really break it. So the Qs is finding some decent resistance at 364.66, somewhere in that zone. The one thing to note on this one is the VPOC yesterday did close higher than the 2 previous days. So that could be some potential for maybe we start to trend bullish. At the end of the day, it's still a gap and go, decent close, nothing too scary about it, but not as strong, right? And we do know that obviously the Qs and everything tech has already moved a lot stronger, quicker. So getting to these higher levels, how much higher can they go? I mean, you tell me. I don't know. Probably infinity and beyond if I was Buzz Lightyear. Lauren wants to take a look at DE. Nice little gap up. I'd watch out for that little resistance up here too. And again, I think because overall, I think wave 5 in the general markets, I think if we start to break new highs on some of these stocks or recent pivots, I think they will get sold into a little bit heavier. So watch as we get up into the 416. You're still going to have about $2 and we'll call it 20 cents move into that retest. I mean, that's a good trapping candle just in a smaller time frame. So the fact that, okay, if anybody took a breakdown of that green candle, instantly trapped there. And then at the close of the day, pretty much anybody that did go bearish for the most part did end trapped on that candle. So that is definitely one to watch. Now you have this gap up. Looks good. But I don't know if we could break this zone or not. I think that's going to provide decent resistance. And the only thing that would have made this candle, this trap, better is if this didn't happen first. Right? This big run up into it. Because who are you really trapping? You're trapping, at this point, you're trapping one day of people trying to take a breakdown. However, all of those people who jumped in earlier, they were a little bit more worried and maybe selling, and they're like, shoot, sold too early type situation. Anybody that did not sell those shares, I think they're probably going to consider themselves lucky and maybe maybe not to get all out of their position, but at least lighten it a little bit with a second chance, second opportunity. So just watch out for that. It is a little bit of a run up into it. AMD. Yeah, my trade on AMD yesterday. So that was where I scalped. DE is, it's ex divvy tomorrow. Yeah, so you might have that continuation run up too. And then probably sell off tomorrow, the next day, something like that. So this is what I was looking at yesterday for the scalp. Again, I was like, we already closed the gap. I felt like the market was heading a little bit bullish. On Nvidia at the time was looking decent, so I was able to catch this double. I like this hammer a lot, right? I think that's a decent trapping hammer after just some kind of consolidation. And we've already sold off. We've already closed the gap on the daily. So I was thinking maybe a little more bullish, waited through all this. And then as this double bottom came in, so I had some kind of entry for me right above this candle right here. Let me see if I can make this bigger for you guys. Right above here was my entry. Stop was somewhere right below here, because essentially I was able to still play this candle, except get a better opportunity for risk reward. And so I'm coming in a little bit sooner than taking the top of that candle and then letting it do its thing. So I was out essentially by this move over here. All right, but that was the play on AMD that I just did yesterday. It did try my patience for a little bit in terms of like just waiting to get into a setup, but it did work out. Let's see. Rock is in the house. Yep, we're gonna take a look at Netflix as well. AMD today, not so bullish. Interesting little gap down. So you're trapping some of the bulls that remained in this thing yesterday. Recent trend has been bearish, small time frame. Right now we are opening below moving average as well. So the only thing I'm thinking the direction, if I want to play AMD, it's got to be bearish today. We're still right in yesterday's candle, so we didn't quite break that. That is where the bulls came in and saved this thing last time. The only difference is that VPOC has already been retested. I think we have the ability to probably make it down to about 105.37. So somewhere in that range. So again, and then if that one breaks, we have a lot more room. So if that one ends up coming down, we probably have to. Now my internet seems like it's going slower. I don't know why. Maybe we're just on a feature or something. Why? Okay, there we go. Now we're back. Probably like 102. I think the max today would be 102.29. I don't know if we could get there. That'd be a pretty decent sell-off. But yeah, I think looking short on MD, 105.77 would be the first target. And then if we're feeling like the rest of the market is dumping with it, we could probably try to hold through it. We have no more dip for the chips. I mean, some of the tech stock, again, Q's didn't really have that as strong of a candle. Let me go back. Let's take a look at Netflix. I think I might have missed some of the other tickers you guys might have threw out there, so we'll scroll through those as well. But we got Netflix. Yeah, that one looks decent. We are opening above the 10 as well. We've got a little bit of Netflix. I'm going to throw this one higher on the list. This, I think, would be a good candidate if we get some profit taken. So a little bit of a red candle at open, and maybe we could take a break. I would have to be concerned with 426.27, somewhere in that direction. If we're not going to get a crazy bullish day, which we might. I don't think so, but we might. And then I think final target on it would be 434.75. So see if we get a little bit of either sideways chop at open, some kind of red candle, almost play this one. Just we do have a little bit of potential resistance up here. Better risk reward is if you could get in closer to, I don't know, 421.10. So that would be my area to watch. Any pullback to 421.10, even if you throw a pre-market order out there, I think that looks decent. Just get a stop at, and that stop would be a little wide for day trade, but that's 416 essentially. So you still have $5 move. Can Netflix move from 421 to 5? We need $10, so 431. Yeah, even with that wider stop, it's doable. It could be in the cards for that trade. even as a pre-market setup. But we'll watch it. We'll see if we can get some kind of a pullback, but it's a nice little gap for sure. Let's take a look at pins. Fed is speaking, but it is a panel discussion titled Policy Panel. It sounds like the worst superhero team name ever. Let's meet at the policy panel. Let's defeat inflation once and for all. Yeah, I don't think I mean they have the ability to throw out some. Usually in those meetings, they're not going to give you big news that really affects anything, but they could throw out some nuggets of like, here's what we're thinking for the future. So this is what we're worried about, and that worry that people will pick up on from those meetings can help to influence or at least give traders the ability to kind of make assumptions of like, hey, there might be maybe 3 rate hikes as opposed to 2 or something like so that. But otherwise, there won't be any like headlines in terms of just more guessing from people. So I don't know if it's going to have a huge effect on the market. I don't think so. But if they throw out anything wild that's off brand for what they've been saying, that's where we'll have the move. Pinterest. So this is a retest gap into resistance. I think this is a fadeable one. So if you do want to play the fade on this one, I get it. Probably back down. Look for targets around 26.50. So you got almost $1, about 90 cents to target on this one. You could probably create a decent stop as well, but pins we can watch. I think this is a fadeable gap. Man, I have pins kind of low on the list. All right. Interesting. Let's take a look at ZI. Let's get inflation. ZI looks okay. It is a gap and go, so that's decent. Let me just draw a fib real quick because we might be at a possible spot for rejection if anybody wanted to get in this thing short. 25.43. So we're at 25.40. Looks, and it's not going to be to the penny, but 26.18 would probably be target for me in a bullish direction. We also have a higher volume area right at 26.08. So somewhere between 26.08 and then 26, I'll call it 26.20. Somewhere in there would have to be your target if you're going to take this thing. Because if anybody did think this thing was short, that's probably where they're going to want to get in short, right around that 50, if not 618. And that will give you a little bit more room to the bullish side. So you don't have to sell everything probably right at 26.08. But if you could design a trade where you can make a good chunk of your money into it, that would be the spot to do it. We are down a lot on Zoom Info. This entire move is lower lows. So you're not really buying this thing at all-time highs, which is decent. If you can get above this one big volume area, you've got plenty of room. Next immediate stop would be 26.78. At least going to have to be the spot defended by the bears, and then if that breaks, your next target is probably 28.28. So it's a gap and go. I'd want to play it bullish. Maybe this thing come in and we can get some bright candles that open, and that gives us better risk reward. Otherwise, still a little bit in that chop zone. So, but I'd be looking bullish on it for sure. And then the question is, how do we design a setup that we can make the best actual trade on? We got the Roblox, baby. Let's go. We got 41.65 at open, so a little bit of a gap down. Nice looking close yesterday above that candle. Some decent volume came on that one. That's, I mean, a rather big sell-off, and we did get the close above it. So that tells me there is bulls still alive in Roblo. What would worry me is we have very, very strong consolidation, sideways trading, which we did not break out of yesterday. But to go long here, that's going to be tough. Every time we've gotten up to that zone, we've been rejected. This is probably more of a sell spot than a buy spot for risk reward until you get the break, come back down, retest it, and then I think we're good to go. So could see continuation. My guess would be we get some kind of a pullback retest. I wouldn't even say retest of like 50% of yesterday's candle. I would say better opportunity in a worst case would be if you want to go bullish. You're probably, I mean, that's a strong close. It's very difficult to go bearish. So bullish would, I think, be the direction and sentiment if we could break that channel. 50% of the move would take us to about 39.61. So I guess if you're a little bit more brave than me and want to short it, somewhere in that zone would be the spot which would get you decent risk reward. Unless, again, we break out. This is now 1, 2, 3 days in a row of higher VPOCs. So even small term trend, we'd have to watch out for that spot. See if some people just playing that sideways channel chop is going to take some profits there. But we'll get this decently high on the list. Take a look. Let's see what else I'm missing. We got Roblox, ZI. We looked at pins. Did we look at NVIDIA? I don't know if we did. NVIDIA. Small inside candle from yesterday. And that one is breaking down. So again, that one looks, what do I like better for a short, AMD or NVIDIA? I think it's got to be AMD if I was to pick one to go short on. But I would be thinking short today on NVIDIA for sure. Question is, on this one, we have a decent amount of support, somewhere around 394.38. I still think the buy the dippers are here. Like, man, how'd I not get into this thing at anything higher than 52-week highs? But still playing that gap. And I think after this gap up was probably a new wave count. And that would be, I don't know. This could be a 1. This is a 2. This is a 3. This is a 4. Maybe we get that 5 and then we finally come in. And I think this is a gap that will eventually fill at some point. But I think today I'm going to have to lean toward AMD for a short. They do both look very, very similar. I think AMD just has a little less in the way and can provide a little bit more returns on our risk. But both I would be thinking to the short side of things. Let me see if there's anything else in YouTube land. I promise I'm not ignoring him. Jerome Nelson, what's up, buddy? Let's see. Lear says, I was thinking day trade calls. That was probably on Netflix. Scott says shop had bullish wick to pair 622. Hoping for some more continuation. All right, let's take a look at shop. I haven't looked at that one in a little bit. Kind of just, yeah, I mean, if you're gonna, there's not really a gap in this one, so it would be the only play really is continuation. Again, we're up pretty massively on this thing. I think before, if this thing does get a bigger collapse into it, I mean, whether it does or does not, I don't know, but I think 66.12 would have to get retested before we decide if we're really going to go bullish or not. Otherwise, we're still just inside kind of this sideways consolidation. So if you're bullish on this thing, probably 66.12. You did have a little bit of reversal, closed at least above the open close of that candle from, what was that, Monday? And you got a lot of those moving averages supporting you. So I think the further side down at this point might be, it might be a little bit more of a challenge. I like it more bullish than bearish still at this point. And I think if you're looking for continuation, that would be the play. Otherwise, I don't know if I would take a new trade on it at open. Somebody said Babo. Let's take a look at that one. So I did see that one moving pretty decently, but today gap down. Gap down. Get to do chopper. And Baba is one of those stocks that gaps frequently. So I kind of take all of the gaps in Baba with a little less importance. But that is a gap down. You are into a little bit of support. We've had 1, 2, 3 days in a row of buying. This is a gap now that at open is essentially closing that gap. Even though it's a gap and go down, I think this comes up for a retest at worst case. I think we have to get to about $87, something like that, before we decide if we want to go bullish bearish from there. But we will see. Space, Virgin Galactic, that was breaking out, looking amazing, and that one kind of collapsed, just hanging out there. I mean, if you're interested in Virgin Galactic, I'd rather be buying it here. So otherwise, day trade wise, nothing too crazy. GEO, what was that last one? ENPH. Yeah, just kind of hanging out, a little bit of a gap down there. Mara, I think crypto's down a little bit. Mara's pulling back slightly. Really, really nice breakout candle. Good close yesterday on Mara. So that would be one to watch. Maybe continuation, but I think we almost have to come down to like the 1233 zone at this point and go from there. Disney, it's getting close to my long-term buy purchase. Did we get there yet? Not yet. 87.75 was the low. Now we're at 89, so I still need about $4 to the downside there. Wayfair, really good close on Wayfair yesterday. That's one I'd probably look for some continuation. If we could break 64.92, you probably could get decent continuation there. Let me just see if there's any more last minute comments in YouTube. Disney for a swing back to the top of the pennant pattern. Disney, you have a good double bottom that's there. It's obvious. Long term, I'm still waiting, so I'm not buying long term yet. I'm still looking for about $85, so a little bit more of a bigger pullback before I start my position in Disney. Otherwise, trade wise, yeah, you do have this decent double bottom to play off of. Not crazy volume coming anywhere. $90 was a very, very good support. I expect $90 to be a very good resistance at this point as well. We made it, not even, well, still off by 35 cents yesterday and got rejected. We're below all those moving averages. What I would like to see, if you're going to try to take a swing, we got 22 seconds left. And you are gapping up a little bit above some of those moving averages. Actually, Disney might be an okay one if we could break out. Question is, can we break this 89.99? That's going to be the spot. So essentially that $90 mark. It's not going to give me too much risk reward to the upside, but that's a good double bottom. Back and rally a little bit. But unfortunately, that is the opening bell. YouTube, love you guys. Make sure you guys hit the like, subscribe, and share. Check out Real Life Trading for all the content, beginner, intermediate, advanced courses. And